Alcohol remains one of the most widely accepted yet dangerously underestimated substances in modern society, and the mounting evidence linking it to cancer is becoming impossible to ignore. Despite decades of research confirming its role as a carcinogen, public awareness remains disturbingly low, a situation that has been exacerbated by misinformation, industry influence, and cultural normalization. The latest statistics from Scotland paint a grim picture. Alcohol-related deaths have reached their highest level in 15 years, with 1,277 lives lost in a single year. But even this number fails to capture the full extent of the damage. Alcohol does not just kill directly. It is a significant contributing factor to thousands of additional deaths from conditions such as cardiovascular disease and multiple forms of cancer. The failure to properly acknowledge this risk is costing lives. The World Health Organization has called for mandatory health warning labels on alcoholic beverages, emphasizing that most consumers remain unaware of the well-established link between alcohol and cancer. A survey across 14 countries revealed that only 15% of respondents knew that alcohol causes breast cancer, and less than 40% understood its connection to bowel cancer, two of the most common cancers in men and women. This ignorance is not accidental. The alcohol industry has consistently downplayed the health risks of its products, strategically keeping the public uninformed while aggressively marketing alcohol as a normal and even beneficial part of life. The truth is far bleaker. There is no safe level of alcohol consumption when it comes to cancer risk. Ethanol, the active ingredient in all alcoholic drinks, has been classified as a Group 1 carcinogen by the International Agency for Research on Cancer, alongside substances such as tobacco smoke, asbestos, and radiation. Despite this, warnings about alcohol's dangers remain absent from the products themselves, allowing consumers to continue making uninformed decisions about their health. Decades of misleading research have also contributed to public confusion. For years, moderate alcohol consumption, particularly red wine, was wrongly associated with potential heart benefits, leading many to believe that small amounts of alcohol could be good for them. However, major studies have since dismantled these claims, revealing critical flaws in the data. Many of the studies that suggested moderate drinking had health benefits failed to account for important factors, such as the socioeconomic status of drinkers or the fact that some non-drinkers included in research had only stopped drinking due to pre-existing health conditions. A comprehensive 2018 study published in The Lancet delivered a stark conclusion. The safest level of alcohol consumption is 0. Current guidelines in the UK recommend no more than 14 units of alcohol per week. Yet even these recommendations fail to fully convey the risk. Public health policies such as minimum unit pricing, MUP, in Scotland have been introduced in an attempt to curb harmful drinking. But while they have reduced alcohol-related deaths to some extent, they have done little to address the fundamental issue: the normalization of alcohol as a socially acceptable and largely consequence-free product. The rise in alcohol-specific deaths, particularly in deprived communities, shows that existing measures are not enough. Those who are already drinking at high levels are often unable or unwilling to reduce consumption, sometimes even prioritizing alcohol over essentials like food. Despite the staggering human cost, around 800,000 alcohol-related deaths per year in the European region, only a handful of countries have introduced mandatory health warnings on alcohol products. Ireland will soon become the first country to require labels explicitly linking alcohol to cancer, but elsewhere, progress remains slow. Powerful lobbying from the alcohol industry has successfully blocked or delayed public health interventions in multiple nations, mirroring the tactics once used by the tobacco industry to obscure the dangers of smoking. Scotland is now under increasing pressure to follow Ireland's example, with health experts and charities such as Cancer Research UK calling for urgent action. But any move in this direction is likely to meet fierce opposition from the alcohol industry, which has consistently fought against stronger regulations, prioritizing profits over public health. Cultural contradictions further complicate the issue. The Scottish government has proposed restrictions on alcohol advertising, yet debates continue about lifting bans on alcohol sales at football matches. Public health campaigns urge people to cut back on drinking, while alcohol remains a dominant presence in social settings, celebrations, and marketing campaigns. These mixed messages only reinforce complacency, making it harder to change attitudes and behaviors. The harsh reality is that Scotland, and much of the world, remains deeply entrenched in an unhealthy relationship with alcohol. The statistics are clear. Alcohol is not just a lifestyle choice. It is a major public health crisis. The evidence linking alcohol to cancer is undeniable, yet the widespread lack of awareness is alarming. If the goal is to reduce the burden of disease and prevent avoidable deaths, governments must take decisive action. Mandatory health warnings, stricter advertising regulations, and public education campaigns are not just advisable, they are essential. Failing to act now means continuing to let an industry dictate the narrative while thousands more die preventable deaths each year. The cost of inaction is simply too high.